Hey everybody, it's just Dan today. Had to drop Jack off because Miranda and I have to go pretty far distance. We have a wedding we're going to out of town, and I want to do a little bit of an update on the Volt. This is about 6 months that we've had it. We've never really taken on any sort of trip. I knew inevitably that we would have to, which is why I got a electric slash hybrid combination type of car. And I really want to use this as an opportunity to see how it's going to perform, as opposed to a completely electric car. We have about a 3-hour drive. The total trip may be anywhere from 300 to 400 miles there and back. So this is one perfect example where a car like this is going to be a little bit more convenient than having a fully electric car. Most electric cars, maximum right now is about 270 miles, I think. For 2019, from what I've seen and read. So, as of now, if you take a look at this console here real quick, we did not get the fully charged because we had some errands to run. So I'm at about 31 miles EV range, 241 electric, for a total right now calculated 372 miles. Now that is calculated on 7 gallons of gas. We are full because we recently did an update just kind of showing how our second fill-up went. However, so it hasn't been that cold, and we've been charging in between uses. So since we did that video a few weeks ago, we really haven't used any of our gas. So driving, city driving, day-to-day driving, it's calculating we have about 342 miles before we need to fill up again. That again is without the reserve. So that's a total of 7 gallons of gas, saying that we're going to get about 342 miles. So it's calculating off of that with the additional 31 that we have right now. But the interesting part is that will change because we're going to do all highway driving. So the 31-mile electric isn't going to take us very far. It did take us around today and stuff for a few miles. And then we're going to convert over to the hybrid mode, and we're going to see how far it takes us. Then we're going to make a follow-up video in a week or so after we get back from our trip, based on somewhere between 300 or 400 miles, what kind of actual miles we get. We're going to see if we can do it on only 7 gallons of gas, which is pretty amazing. Because right now, gas is like, $2 a gallon. So that means on 14 bucks, we're going to be able to go, 300 or 400 miles. We're going to find out. It's going to be interesting. So we'll do another update here. Stay tuned for part 2. We have, as you can see here, 50 miles left. So it told us that we would be able to go 352 total on the battery that we had left and the fuel. And we actually went 315 plus 50 is about 370 or 363, which is very close to the 372 that they estimated. So bottom line is it was very, very close. If we had a full charge, if we would have had, say, 60 miles, we would have been able to go about 400 miles. And we did that on 1 tank of gas, which again is 7 miles of gas, or 7 gallons of gas. So that ends up being around 55 to 60 miles per gallon. If we were full of electric, we would have got closer to like 60. Since we were not, we started off after running some errands and that. We didn't have a full charge. So basically we got about 52, 53 miles per gallon. Very impressive. The nice part is, again, we did not have to stop anywhere to charge it. We didn't have to worry about that at all. If we would have ran out, we could have just filled it up. It is awesome that this kind of technology is getting more advanced. It is amazing to me that for $34,000 you can buy a car that can do this. Again, I just got the refund back on my taxes, and my plan is to then throw that down on the principal, shortening the life of the loan. Because I took a loan like anyone does on a car, didn't buy it in cash. And then that will allow me to pay on it less often. So $26,500 for an electric car that you can use day to day. If you want to take a trip, then you can, and get 50 to 60 miles per gallon. If you start off with a full charge, so that'll take you 60 or so, and then the other 270 or so will be, 370 or so will be gas. So, and then you have a reserve left over if you run out. So over 400 miles with a full charge and a full tank of gas at 7 gallons of gas, 1 gallon reserve, and about 60 miles full charged. Day to day, we're hardly using the gas at all, other than when the weather was really cold. Now, this trip, we probably would have been able to go about 450 or more miles, but it was only in the high 30s. And so we did have to have the heat running. That obviously affected it. I would gather to say under perfect conditions that you could easily get 450, close to 500 miles on 7 gallons of gas. That's like 70 miles to the gallon. That's amazing. I'm glad this technology is finally here. I'm glad that we can have this kind of vehicle. It's better for our environment. You know, way less fossil fuel emissions. And that's only when we take a trip. We really don't have to use the gas hardly at all when we don't. I think that soon enough, the technology will be here to where we don't have to use it at all. It's very close. There are fully electric cars that can go 200 to almost 300 miles now. Not quite, 400 to 500, but they're getting there. And if the hotel that we stayed in had a docking system, I could have plugged in there and, again, charged to a full charge, got another 60 or so for the way back, and cut off even more, and had a couple gallons of gas left. So it's getting there. We're at a great place, people. I absolutely recommend getting out there and looking at these kind of cars. It is unbelievable how efficient they are. It is unbelievable how inexpensive they are now. And the performance is outstanding. We were on the turnpike going 75 miles an hour. And it isn't like we were crawling along doing 60 miles. We were doing 75, passing cars, doing 80. The technology is incredibly advanced. The performance that this car has is amazing. I'm able to pass cars, no problem, everything. The energy that it has is outstanding. A lot of people think, it's an electric car or whatever. It's not a Tesla, but I will tell you this, it is very impressive. And it can outperform just about any car I've ever owned in the past. So that was completely gas. So check out some of our other videos. Jack and Dan, we do stuff on conservation. We do stuff on our hobbies, fish tanks, workouts, nutritious food, all that kind of stuff, recipes. We're going to be updating about every week or so. Check it out. Let us know if you like the videos. Hit subscribe and hit the bell for future notifications. And we'll see you next time.